hey, I'm with you for the possibility of sex. Is that on the table tonight? Like I
But
said,
I don't think it's common enough to make your mentality make sense. Personally, that's what I'm saying.
well, I'm on the dark side. I am definitely not the guy for you. I got a vasectomy. I can't have babies unless Jesus is coming back. I check Henry Cord, and they say adept is yapping. Get on live. You hurt my feelings, Chud. My stupid takes. Oh, this interview. It's actually 2 divorces. If you guys look, this is stuff I've yet to divulge to anyone. And like The
What
Rock
if he's her?
Oh God. We're gonna laugh and then we're gonna learn. And I'm not gay. You got that. Chud, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am well. You have no camera?
I'm turning it on now. Do you think 9/11 was an inside job?
Oh Jesus, just coming out crazy. Are you trying to no, I don't think it was an inside job. I know there's a lot of theories regarding how the fast the building burned down or some crap like that with the vans in the basement. I really haven't looked too far into it, if you will. How about you? You think it's an inside job?
No, I used to when I was younger.
Then you grew up, your brain developed.
Um, maybe you could put it like that. I just think that as more information came out, it became clearer and clearer that there wasn't a conspiracy, and it was all easily explained with, you know, correct observations and science and whatnot.
Okay, yeah. All that. Hey, I go with the evidence as opposed to the theories, if you will. But everyone, this is Chud Logic, one of the other only streamers who's actually speaking on XQC and brave enough to cut a couple videos on the topic, while everyone else is just a footnote. uh, oh yeah, I think Adept's horrible. Okay, next subject. But go ahead, Chud.
Well, thank you for the high praise. I appreciate your comments. I honestly just love the content, but I do share your frustration that it seems like the biggest streamers aren't really kind of weighing in on this topic. So we can get into that. And this is obviously Henry Resilient, known for his coverage of certain court cases and his takes on women, of course.
Oh, there you go.
So far, I just want to remind everyone of some of his best takes. The first one was if you're in the midst of some sort of divorce proceeding, you should hide your wealth by buying gold and burying it in your back garden. That was one. And
Yeah,
the most recent one was that rather than have a child with someone, you should have a surrogate mother so you retain control of the parental control at all times.
100%.
Okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo taught me. So
Okay.
don't. I'm not the originator of that plan. I'm just following what he did.
Honestly, there's some people in my chat that get a bit mad when you say this stuff, but most of my chat now are kind of on board with a lot of your ideas. So,
I don't know.
yeah.
Sometimes people they have to see like XQC experience it, or maybe see a father go through a traumatic custody battle to lose his kids to maybe a false allegation or just in put in the child support system. And once they experience it, then they're like, oh shit, Henry was right. But it will not happen until they experience it. They get kicked out of their own house on a false allegation. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously we can get into the nitty gritty there because I'm quite interested. I mean, I guess like the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is your kind of thought process on this recent play that Adept has made, sharing these text messages and painting a narrative of XQC paying a mod for sex. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, all men pay, whether people want to admit it or not. Now he did pay for the flight, but did he give cash to hand? No, he paid for the flight. In essence, he still paid for sex, if you will. But it's consensual sex. Is we're in this feminist movement where who cares if a woman has consensual sex? If she wants to charge for it, that's her right. But I don't think he necessarily sees it as pain per se. If you get what I'm saying, like some guys are jaded about it. Like, oh, I didn't pay. I just took her out to dinner. I took her to the movies. We had dessert, and then afterwards we had sex. But I didn't give her the $200 to $300 for the date. You see how it works? Some people
So,
don't get it.
so are you saying? I don't want to misrepresent you here. Are you saying that all dating is prostitution?
I am not saying all dating is prostitution, as you get me with these these traps, if you will. But, I think prostitution is more so, hey, I'm meeting you for the sole interest of having sex with compensation provided.
Okay.
Like hand, money to hand or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. To be more serious, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. So I think the way I look at it is like, I might say take someone out and pay for a drinks, and that'll cost me £50. To XQC, paying for a flight would be the equivalent of me paying for someone for drinks in his budget. Like, it's not that big a deal to him to fly someone out if he wants to see them. And obviously, America's quite a big place. You might end up speaking to someone on the other side of the country. It's not completely ridiculous that you might pay for someone to fly out to see you if you wanted to do that.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
What's the most you've ever paid for a date?
Probably like $400. $400.
Was it worth
Um,
it?
oh yeah. Look, guys, every date I go on, it's already negotiated what's going to happen. If you kind of get my drift. All right. They know what they're doing before, during, and after. It's all sorted out. And I think that's the best way to do. Men should be transparent. Hey, I'm with you for the possibility of sex. Is that on the table tonight? Just have that straight conversation. Is that on the table for that? Is that guaranteed tonight? And women may say, no, it's not on the table. Okay, now you have it, you can make a conscious effort to, hey, do I want to continue trying to date this person with the hopes of securing an emotional relationship, or do I just want to, move to the next target? Because there are a lot of women who would just take you on a foodie date, is what they call it, and you'll be left, holding your thing in your hand at the end of the night, wishing you had had the balls to say, "Hey, I want to have sex with you." Is
Okay,
that
but
something?
well, is there not any value in like the mystery or the romance of going on a date and not knowing how it's going to go, and
This is
then
not. We don't romance. What is that?
no, you're
Sure.
not
I'm
not in for that. Okay,
uh,
no, that's
not.
fine. I've not been dating for ages, but I just found the appeal of going on a date and not having any preconceived notion of where it's going to go could be quite fun sometimes.
And it can also be a waste of money sometimes. Because chances are you're paying, right? And most guys are not going on dates with women for their company, if you will. And I'm
So a
sure there's
date is
probably
a waste of money if you don't fuck at the end.
it depends. For me, most of the part, I have limited time. So I need to make sure I get what I want out of the date, and she gets what she wants out of the date. That's all I'm saying. Hey, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, cash to hand. Not every woman probably wants cash to hand. They may say, oh, okay, look, you take me out to dinner, we go here, and at the end of the night, boom, it's guaranteed. All right, cool. But most men are just too scared to tell a woman they want to have sex with her. They will either beat around the bush and date one, date two, date three, date 20, and then you find out she got a boyfriend and she's just using you for food. It happens.
Okay,
This is
wait. Okay, we've gone off on a brilliant tangent. I love these tangents. Okay, is that common that a woman will have a boyfriend and just use you to meet for free food? Is that a very common occurrence?
hell yeah. And sometimes the boyfriends be aware because in their mind, they like, shit, I don't have to feed her tonight. You know what I'm saying? You People are unaware. There's a dating website that I'm not trying to give press to. It's called Seeking Arrangements. Many people may know about it. Most girls are aware of it. Bare minimum, some are actually on it. You go on it, and it's typically women choosing men to date. And they're choosing you based on your net worth. Because you can put your net worth in Seeking. You can have a top tier membership, kind of like what Tinder's doing, where they're rolling out like Tinder Plus, where like for $500 a month you get better features. Now, if you're a woman seeking a guy to be with, are you going to go for the guy who has the free Tinder, or are you going to go to the guy who's paying $500 a month for the membership?
I mean, You're
Yeah,
making me. You always put me in a position where I've got to defend women, and I find it very
defend them.
frustrating. Okay, but like, I don't deny there's gold diggers and there's women out there who are only after money and stuff like that. But there's also people you will meet that are not just after one thing there and just want to get money out of you.
Oh,
You have a connection and go forward.
100%, Chud. Not all women are like this. Not all women want money in hand. Like I
But
said,
I
some.
don't think it's common enough to make your mentality make sense. Personally, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm on the dark side. I'm on the dark side. 100% on the dark side. I I am. I don't date the way regular people date. So like the normie, if you will, may meet a girl on a dating app. She swipe left, you swipe left. Oh, let's meet up for drinks. They go on a date. He doesn't seal the deal. He's frustrated. Maybe date two, date three, date four. Date one, you should be talking, hey, this is my intentions. This is where it's going. Is that where would you like it to go? No? Okay. End it right there. End it right there. Don't further waste your time. But men will forever not be upfront about their intentions.
Hmm. Okay, I've got some agreement there. Like, you can end up going on like 3 or 4 dates with someone if you're not careful and your goals don't align, and then you've spent hundreds of dollars and it's not going to go the way you want it to do, and it never would have done. So it's kind of a waste of time that way. But you would agree though that like going on an initial date, maybe a cheaper date, maybe just going for a few drinks, just to see if there's any sort of connection before you go down that road.
100%.
Okay,
Hey,
that's fine.
hold on. What do you hope to get out of this? Because, women know I'm not getting married. You're not living with me ever. You're never going to have my kid, but we can have fun together. We can go on dates together. We can, provided what you want is what I want. We can have a good time. It could be long term. It could be short term. It's no disrespect to the woman if she is like, hey, I don't want that. I'm looking for marriage. But, hey, I'm not the guy for you. Hey, I'm looking to cohabitate. Then maybe I'm not the guy for you. I'm looking to have a baby. I am definitely not the guy for you. I got a vasectomy. I can't have babies unless Jesus is coming back.
I mean, in principle,
Different. It's
this.
different.
By the way, I've got a bit of an echo at your end when I talk loudly. I don't know if.
Go ahead.
Um, in principle, I like this concept of you seek out a person that you want to, have the same goals with and stuff like that. And if it's all done respectably, then that's fine, isn't it? It's just obviously funny the way you say things. I think getting to the bottom of it, yeah. If you go on a date and talk about it, you're not compatible. So essentially, you can't continue that. That's fine. And I would agree that guys should not plow money and time into women that don't share the same goals as them. And you should be able to have frank conversations, politely, sure, but frank conversations early on to eliminate like those issues. It just sounded
And
like you were kind of messaging a woman and being like, "Oh, are we fucking
no,
tonight or what?" It's this. You're a bit
no,
smoother than that, right?
no,
Okay.
no. The young lady I'm going on a date with tonight, she's cool.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Um. Okay. So getting back to the XQC stuff, it's good to have these little bits of disagreement because I think broadly on XQC we'd probably agree, but it seems like Adept was trying to embarrass XQC after a court loss for her to obfuscate what had happened. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Um, to embarrass him, she wanted to eviscerate his public image.
Oh,
And
okay.
after each attempt and every attempt kept failing, she kept going lower and lower. And when all that didn't work, she brought in the third party. Hey, you cheated on a friend with me. Okay, no one cares. Okay, well, you flew one of your mods out. Here's the messages that I illegally obtained, where y'all talking about intimate
Right.
moments. She literally posted. I don't know if you saw my whole video or her VOD about XQC. You know, eating someone's back door and there being an odor.
I didn't see
God,
that particular bit, no. Okay, so I understand where you're coming from because I was thinking of this in isolation, but you're saying that this is essentially like a pattern of behavior, and the whole point of it and the whole arc is to try and completely destroy his public image. Okay, I think I agree with that. Yeah, that makes sense. But what? So this ass eating is it ass eating? Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I think your chat man caught on to it. Yeah. It was out there. I mean, did she try to shame him or try to shame her for having a smell? This is like high school juvenile bullying tactics, if you will.
See, it's tricky because
Because
I find the gossip and talking about it kind of funny, but then I just think like XQC has done nothing to really deserve any of this except try and defend himself against egregious claims of financial, you know, debt to having being married. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not really done anything wrong, um, that I can tell anyway.
nothing wrong, other than you could say what he chose wrong. Do people think he chose wrong? He should have picked better.
I don't know if we spoke about this before, but what do you make of these people that say, well, XQC has made his own bed because he went back to Adept?
We got juicers in the chat. We got to hold that L. He did go back mid divorce, and he learned his lesson because he went back trying to get some sex or whatever, if you will, and then she put all the false allegations on him. So I can see people making the argument, well, he deserves it. He went back. Well, some people have to touch fire to know it's hot. He's not in a divorce support group where uh, men share stories about how they think their ex-wife is trying to be nice to them, and then they get served with a lawsuit or they get served with a false allegation. So he's not aware of that situation, and probably he still was a little jaded. He never thought it would happen like that. He never thought in his life that the person he once loved would go so low to try to secure millions from him.
How do you know XQC isn't in a divorce support group?
I don't know. You're right. I just don't see him in the divorce support group. Divorce support group guys, no, never go back.
Right.
Even if
Okay.
they're on fire, don't piss on them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't agree with that sentiment, but it seems pretty obvious that there's a through line of all this stuff that's happening, the messages, these allegations, and it does seem to go back to that one night. I believe it's all off the back of that one night. I think, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate just to see it to happen to probably a guy who's never had anything like this happen to him before by any woman. There's never been hey, he did something inappropriate to me. If I recall, and trust me, I've dug deep. I can't find one woman outside of Adept to come out and say, he did this or he did that. So
Yeah. One thing that you probably know more about that I wanted to ask about is there's this kind of disconnect for me because I'm thinking if she'd have come out publicly with these allegations, XQC would have been destroyed. But she has alluded to it, has she not? She's spoken a bit about it publicly, but maybe not explicitly.
he said it. When she said she was hit, abused,
Okay,
violated
okay,
on stream. I clipped it. I cut a video on it. I'm like, do you guys think he would abuse or violate her? But she said it. It just didn't fall on too many ears because she's
right.
also at the center of a divorce case that no one believes that they were married. Now, had it been like some random person, then maybe it would have had a little bit more weight. Maybe someone he may have secretly been dating that he's claimed to be. And they came out and say, yeah, I was hit, I was abused, I was violated, I was too scared to go to the police. Then maybe it could have gained steam. But when she already showed her hand and said this and that, it falls on deaf ears. And you have that combined with the fact that what I've noticed about the Twitch community is if the big creators don't talk about it, it just kind of gets swept under the rug. Sure, I can cut a video on it, get 10,000 views. Chud cut a video on it, and get 10,000 views. But it takes someone like maybe Charlie to cut a video on it, and it gets millions of views for it to kind of like shed light on a situation.
Yeah, that's another interesting angle to this is this idea that no one is talking about this. People claim it's because XQC has asked people not to. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think he did because if you guys watched his hour-long video where he said it was sad that he had no one in his corner, I don't know if you guys caught on that. He said it. Go back, watch the tape. He said he didn't have anyone in his corner. No one spoke out about it. which to me tells me that he did not ask people not to talk about it. And legally, I don't even think he could tell people, hey, can you not talk about my court case? Because he was barred from talking about his court case to third parties. So I don't know how that will work. And Destiny said, hey, XQC didn't tell people not to talk about it. The reason no one's talking about it is because she has 2,000 pictures of everything that's in the XQC phone. So imagine if you one of these top creators who may have said something embarrassing or maybe unflattering, probably about another creator, and you have this person with all the juice on you that's clearly shown that they will go after anyone, even a mod who doesn't even say anything about him. You might shut up. You're like, well, I did tell XQC ABC, and I don't know if she has a picture of that, but if that were to get out, it'd bring unwanted attention to me. So as a result, I'm gonna withhold judgment, maybe say just adept is bad and keep it moving.
That's actually a really interesting angle, and hadn't thought of that before. So you're saying that it's almost like not explicitly blackmail, but you know, it's this kind of it's sort of subtly leading people to not comment because they're like, damn, I know what I've said. If that gets leaked, I'm going to look really bad, like a self-impression thing, self-image
Yeah.
thing.
And you have to remember, most of these top streamers, they live in Texas. They're all neighbors.
Right.
So what about it may not be in the text, but what if they told her some intimate details about their life or something? Or maybe something embarrassing that they don't want anyone to know. And she seems like the type to keep receipts. You saw she's recording every conversation, screenshotting every message. She would likely have dirt on pretty much anyone who likely interacted with her. So they'll probably, after this is done, whenever that is, if she's not already, she'll be shunned from the streaming community.
Well, yeah, because that's true. She's got not only got the screenshots, so she's got conversations that XQC has had with people. She's got her own conversations with people. Who knows what some of these big, particularly female streamers, and I'll say it like it is because you know what female streamers are like behind the scenes, fucking natter, 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 oh, adept, this is terrible, what's happened to you, isn't it? Da, 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 da. If they
Oh
come
yeah,
out with a comment now, that you can go, well, it's not what you were saying a few months ago, you're on my side. You can kind of see it, can't you?
100%, man.
Hmm.
And I wish some female streamer would come out and say something. I mean, if this was deep fake and y'all caught XQC looking at some deep fake prawn of some streamer, everyone would talk about it, right?
Yes, this is exactly what I've said about it, right? Like the AI controversy was massive. And this
Or
to
what if
me is worse in a lot of ways than the AI controversy. The AI controversy is bad, and I'm sure it's embarrassing and doesn't feel nice to be part of it. But XQC is being directly targeted with like what I consider harassment and abusive behavior. And it's like clearly having an actual impact on him, but it just doesn't seem to really,
no one
no one fucking cares. It's rental.
no one cared? When Amaranth was crying, talking about her abusive husband, who she made out to be some pimp,
Mm.
everyone cut a video. Everyone cut a video only for her to return to doing the same content she accused him of forcing her to do. And I like Amaranth, but a spade's a spade. It is what it is.
Well, the Amaranth thing is I actually was more like on a side initially. I was like more, sympathetic towards it. But after a time, after it kind of died off and no one spoke about it further, and she went back to doing exactly the same content, I was like, yeah, I feel like I've been duped here. Like this is
Yeah,
fucking bullshit. Like what the fuck?
we all
Um,
got duped, man. It's just horrible. But
I was a bit
look
too
at
sympathetic. Yes, exactly. Sorry, go on.
all the coverage that got. And
Mm.
mind you, if you watch the video, she's not crying until, everything is set up, the lighting is good, the sound is good, and then she puts on the waterworks, and then she gaslights her husband. It's all a show sometimes.
And I think, when you think about it from like a man's perspective, there are things that a partner could say to you that could make you absolutely enraged. Then it makes you, and you look terrible because of the reaction that you're having. But if they've said something that provokes that, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, violence is never justified, but certainly speaking with a raised voice and shouting is very plausible that someone could get you to that state by saying certain things to you. And we never hear the first, we still to this day have got no idea what the rest of that conversation looked like.
This is true. This is 100% true. And we never will, to be honest. We never
And
will.
I'm just getting a link here.
Uh,
There's a clip of Amaranth doing the whole "Oh, I'm finally free," the Harry Potter thing, and it's got like 21,000 upvotes on LSF, right? So like this was clearly a very watched, liked kind of situation at the time. Um, you know.
yeah, man. I just can't buy it for 1,000. I just
Okay.
can't.
We can have a bit more of a circle joke. I want to find some stuff we disagree on, hopefully, so maybe we can argue a little bit more. But I'm interested in maybe some more details of this XQC adept stuff. Like, what do you think is going to happen with which I still believe is ongoing, the ongoing divorce proceedings? What do you think is going to happen from here on out on that?
Um, I think that they're at the community property portion where they have to figure out the community property. The marriage, I believe, is done. And the only reason I say that is because he said the 50-50, it's no 50-50, it's all mine. He reacted to it. What you guys don't know is what XQC reacts to is not accidental. It's mostly planned for the most part. Hey, I want to send a message talking about LA chicks. Next thing you know, who did he meet in LA? Who's from LA that he may know. So I think the marriage is done. The community property, the McLarens, the cars, is probably what's left, and him recouping his lawyer fees.
Okay, wait. I think because I'm confused by this as well. You confused me in chat the other day with this. So my understanding is the abuse situation has been ruled and that's been chucked out. There's no abuse evidenced.
According to XQC, I couldn't confirm.
Okay, because it's sealed, right? The court case is sealed,
Yes,
I believe.
100% sealed.
Okay. However, you're then saying that the marriage thing is done, but that hasn't actually been ruled on yet, has it?
I can't see anything. But XQC said, well, I literally have to go off of what XQC said. I hate going off, not that I think he's a liar, but I much rather prefer to see the court document saying, oh, by the state of Texas declares XQC was never married. And now they can move forward with the division of community property.
Oh, I see. Okay. So XQC, you're interpreting things he's saying as that being the case, but I don't think he's explicitly said it, has he?
No, he still kind of talks in code. So I wish I can get an interview and be like, hey, did the state of Texas declare you were never married? Yes or no? And, so if you can get those, you can hone them in on those type of questions, the yes or no's, then there won't be so much ambiguity with what's going on with this case because it's sealed to shit. Like, I can't even get a copy of the docket, the court docket, which shows no court documents. It's just, hey, this is what's going on. They blocked me out completely. But I got to check my P.O. box to see if I got anything from the Attorney General regarding the police reports.
Wait, you could get access to police reports?
Yeah, I've showed several police reports. How do you think we discovered that he was investigated for SA? For me requesting the police report, and they saying we can't show it to Henry because Henry knows her, and there was an SA investigation. And someone in your chat said FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Like if you want to get the body cam and you really want to go super duper hard, you put in a FOIA request and you say, I want everything.
Of course, yeah.
And then you'll get it. Like, do people really want body cam footage of XQC getting kicked out of his house? Like, is that of any value?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. What this is teaching me is that I should watch a lot more of your content because I'm not watching enough, evidently. I'll link your channel in my chat. There's Henry's channel if you want to give it a follow, guys, just to let you know. Okay, cool. Oh, but I mean, to be honest with you, maybe you got a chance to get on with XQC. I believe he was watching your content the other day, wasn't he?
He was. That was great. That was interesting because no doubt he knows who I am. And I know people close to him watch my content. And I'll just leave it at that. So for him to finally show it on live, I was like blown away. I did a video on that. So I was watching it live. I'm like, yo, there's me on his channel. And he left me up for like 30, 35 minutes or something. Which I don't know, maybe it gives credence to my content, or maybe I just was lucky to be at the top of LSF that day, and the Miz kids didn't vote me down. I don't know.
Okay. So I'm just getting a clip in chat where someone is claiming that XQC is claiming the marriage stuff is still ongoing. But again, I mean, if it's down to interpretation, we've got no hard answers. It's just whatever one's
Nothing.
interpretation is, right?
Correct.
Um, okay. And also the other thing as well, which was good for you, I think your stream covering Adept stream was
Oh my God. Oh, thank you, Adept. Oh my God. I appreciated her losing her goddamn mind on live stream. It was one of my most watched live streams. I had the most viewers since the beginning of the goddamn trial, if you will. And like these streamers be making hella bank, hella bank. That's what that taught me. Like just with 3,000 viewers, oh my goodness. Um, and we had them live for about 2 hours. But yeah, it was a great stream. It was epic that we got to watch her get banned live, and we were spamming ha ha ha. You know the song that she was playing. Great stuff. Great content.
I've actually not watched the Adept stream. I couldn't find a copy of it anywhere. I watched a bit of your coverage, but I didn't watch more than like 5 minutes. So can you just like fill us in? What actually happened in that stream? What's the kind of timeline of what she did?
So I'll give you, you know how women tell a story sometimes. Shout out to all my women. I was asleep on the couch, Chud, and I woke up to my phone just a pinging, pinging, pinging. I check Henry Cord, and they say Adept is yapping. Get on live. So I wipe the coal out my eye. I put on my Stay Resilient merch. Throw my hat on because my hairline is a little funky right now, and I clicked the start live, and she was yapping. She was yapping. I was just watching. It was like an Adept watch party. And shout out to whoever started the movement that was like, do not watch her stream. Watch it on Henry's channel. That was amazing. That was amazing. Whoever started that movement, great job. And then we're just literally watching like a plane descend, just spiraling down, or a train crashing into an immovable object, which was eventually the ban. But she was talking about Coconut having his self-deletion tendencies, his failed marriage, his bald spot. She was talking about Zostradamus doxing her, talking about her and XQC sexcapades, pretty much everything under the sun, but mostly revolving around Zostradamus. How she allegedly even though I want to say allegedly, but Adept was reading text message screenshots. Oh yeah, they create a LSF thread to create a Reddit account and post this about Adept. According to Adept, Nostradamus and XQC conspired to make multiple Reddit accounts to bash Adept.
What evidence did she supply to prove this?
She just sat there and just read from her phone. Just conversation. Oh, you forgot my name. Haha. What's my other name? Shit like that. Literally,
Okay.
she's reading from a script, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite clear that Adept's ability to interpret other people's messages is not particularly good. What with her claiming that XQC literally paid for sex. I just don't see a world where XQC is making fake accounts to go after Adept. That seems fucking like lunacy to me.
Well, he paid his mod. He told his mod to make the account. I don't know, man. I don't know. She had the logs. You got to take it with a grain of salt, considering the circumstances of what she's trying to do and what she's been trying to do.
Okay. You mentioned that you thought Adept is going to be blacklisted by the community. Do you really think that's like a possibility if she's got this kind of dirt over people?
100%.
How will they do it without getting the dirt come out?
You blacklist her without blacklisting her. Maybe you don't say she's not invited. You just don't invite her.
Right. Okay.
Kind of like what they did with Adriana Lee. Allegedly, I'll say allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, she's not invited to parties anymore. Oh yeah, Soda's having a party. No, guys, there's no way in hell I want to be in the same room with Adept. No way in hell. She's already shown what is it, propensity to record conversations illegally without people's consent. Why would I even want to risk it? To be cool with her, to be cool with the person who allegedly put a false allegation against the biggest streamer in the world? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah,
So
it's almost like thinking about all of it, and it's looking from afar. It's almost like she hung her hat on this idea that she was going to be entitled to 50% of his stuff through this divorce thing. And then as time has gone on and that has slowly started to unravel, she has also started to unravel. And it is, in her mind, justified her engaging in more extreme actions that make her look crazy, like nothing to lose. But what she probably doesn't realize is, yeah, she is slowly going to lose the support of I mean, maybe even Casey Tron eventually. I don't know. I think that's like the only person I've seen that supports her.
where is Casey Tron? Where's she at? Where's her
Yeah.
comments at? Did the judge get it wrong? Did the grand jury get it wrong? Did the detective get it wrong? Do all these women who didn't believe her just hate women? Are they not feminists? Are they paid actors? Did XQ buy off a judge? Did he buy off the detective? Where is Casey Tron? We need to hear from Casey Tron, right? Who cares about what XQC says? We want to know what Casey Tron thinks. No.
I'm getting asked to show you a picture of Casey Tron, which I will not do because it is just cruel. Okay, we don't need to get
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah. Not into the talking about people looks and stuff. I know that's the whole movement. If you talk about a woman's look, it's misogynistic. And to some degree, I kind of agree with it.
Okay,
It can be
damn.
distracting. It can be distracting because you want to focus on what people say as opposed to what people look like.
Damn, feminist Henry coming through. I love it. Let's go. We're getting woke in here.
I am not a feminist. All
Okay.
I'm saying, like, for the sake of conversation, for the sake of debate, you just want to hear the talking points. Whether I look like a mutt in the face or not, that should be beside the point. What am I saying? Does what I'm saying have value? Is it right? Is it wrong?
The thing is, I think I agree along the lines of like, I play with it sometimes and have some fun with it and put the picture up and go, oh, come on, guys. Don't it's obviously part of the meme. But I think in principle, it's right that if you start to talk about like the looks, people will focus on that from the other side and go, oh, you're just being misogynistic, calling this person a whale. And it's for chatters, it's fine. For chatters having fun with it or whatever, good luck to you, right? But if you're talking about it, I think you need to try and keep your nose clean as best you can, really, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, but according to Adept, whales own you, bitch. I don't know if you saw her.
I did, yeah. She's trying to reclaim the term, isn't she?
Yeah, I don't think it's working out in her favor. I don't think it is, but
Actually, you've just reminded me of another angle that I think is interesting with this. So this grand jury aspect, my understanding then is that there was at least a strong chance that there could have been charges filed against XQC on a criminal basis. Is that correct?
hell yeah. And you know what? I got a bone to pick with you. When I said,
Oh
hey,
no.
he could go to jail, you said you were just clickbaiting. And he came out and was like, yeah, man, jail was hanging over my goddamn head if I slipped up. But the grand jury,
Wait, hang on, listen, I forgot to take an L. I'll happily and openly take it. So when did I say this? What was the situation?
When I put on a thumbnail, he may go to jail.
Okay.
And I put him in the orange jumper, and he was like, "That's very clickbaity, Henry." And I was like, "Nah, man, he was literally facing jail time." And everyone was like, "Nah, you clickbait." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." But now he come out and is like, "Yo, jail was literally hanging over my head and shit." So,
not only will I take the L, Henry, I'll never doubt you again. Okay, how about that?
You doubted me before, Jesus, Chud.
No. I mean, and also, I do our channel. DK does DK on my channel. Clickbait on my channel all the time, so it's whatever. But yeah, sure. So absolutely, I would agree that yeah, if I said that was wrong. Very clearly, you had insight I didn't to know that this was going to happen. I don't know. Well, did you have insight? Did you know that? How did you figure that out at the time?
Oh, I just requested the court docs for the order of protection. And I just start looking up the laws. I'm like, okay, what the hell is family violence? Because I'm learning this as I go. I am not a lawyer, which I remind people all the time. I am not a lawyer. I'm just a guy with a brain who used to be a public investigator, if you will. Um, and I just start looking shit up. So I start looking up family violence. I'm like, holy shit, because I never thought, I never knew family violence was so extensive. It sticks with you for life. And as he explained, even when he was trying to leave and come back to the country, they're like, hey, are you fleeing from a family violence charge?
Mm. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it
So
wasn't even confirmed, or he wasn't officially charged. It was just being investigated or looked
yeah,
into,
it was just an
and that was
accusation.
adequate for them to think he was committing domestic violence or something.
Yeah. So um, I didn't have any insight other than what the court documents have. No one from his camp ever told me anything regarding the court case.
Okay, so yeah, and this is one thing I'm a bit unclear on. What was the kind of main reason that it didn't proceed? Why did the grand jury not decide to proceed to criminal charge?
Lack of evidence. I
Right.
mean, I can only go off what XQC said. I couldn't get anything, but when I was covering the protective order and I saw 7 weeks after it was filed that the judge, not Adept's lawyer, not XQC's lawyer, moved to seal the case under sua sponte, which I just looked up. I knew and I said, this is about to get tossed out because there is no way in hell if someone is as violent or committing as say, which was alluded to in the original application, that you seal the case. You want the whole world to know that, hey, this person is violent. This person has committed violence against a woman. Not, okay, we need to seal the case. And if I had XQC down, I would love to love to ask, when did he know it was getting sealed? Like, was that before or after the grand jury?
Okay. Um, wow, it's just an insane concept that he was on the precipice of criminal charge for this, and it was only because the lack of evidence. I guess to play devil's advocate a little bit with this, though, could it not be that the lack of evidence is because it's just generally hard to get evidence in instances of domestic violence and things like that?
According to XQC, he said he had video proof that nothing happened.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So, and shout out to Hassan's horse going in on me in your chat. Um, no, I mean,
Oh, they're
and
being a bit. Listen, it's on source. Listen, I don't want a bit of tomfoolery, but you're getting a bit too racist for my tastes. Okay, so we're gonna have to
um,
time you out.
so when it comes to evidence, right? Even though XQC said the evidence was bad and her story flipped, she has to get grilled by detectives too, and they're just looking for consistencies in stories.
Got it. Okay.
Uh, he was accused of breaking into her house in California. There was no proof. Like he kicked in some door and broke in and went through her Discord log to figure out where she was. That's her story. But typically, what these cases happen, and men get upset that there is no repercussions for women when the allegations are false, is the courts do not want women to come forward and there be no charge for the man, and then they put a woman in jail or they impose some other sanctions on her for a lack of proof, especially when there are incidents of it happening, but there's no video footage to corroborate it. She didn't go to the police right away, so there's no grape kit, things like that. But for the grand jury, like that is the judge saying, hey, I don't want this to be on my hands. The detective saying, hey, I don't want it to be on the detective's hands. Let's present all the evidence that we've collected to 9 to 12 people. This is how it works in the state of Texas, and let them decide if this case should move forward. And I imagine there had to be a woman on this grand jury. I can't imagine it being just 9 guys saying, nope, we stick up for guys. He didn't do it. And you have to remember the lead detective, she was a female detective. She's their best detective when it comes to SA. And her name is Michaela Zargoza. Shout out to her for doing her job and supplying the evidence. What about the judge, who's a female judge with a daughter? So you mean to tell me these two women didn't believe you, the 9 to 12 women didn't believe you, and there was not enough evidence to go forward with a criminal charge or a civil charge? So are you going to say Adept's lying, or it just wasn't enough evidence, and he really assaulted her, but she just couldn't prove it, and the cameras that he had just so happened to capture go against everything she said.
Okay, yeah, you've convinced me. I mean, I was convinced anyway, but that is a very compelling case you made there, and I think you make an important point as well. There's a lot of justified anger when a woman makes what we would call like a false allegation, and I understand and I agree with that anger, but you also need to be careful that you don't put in place measures too heavily that prevent a woman from coming forward when they've actually been assaulted or raped or whatever. So you've got to find that right balance. And there are charges that come against women that file false allegations. And normally, I believe it comes through like making false reports to the police and things of that nature. But if you created a piece of legislation that was like, the crime of a false rape allegation, I just think that would cause more problems than it really solves long term, personally.
And there have been incidents where women paid the price for putting a fake grape on someone, but that's when they have text messages of her saying that, yeah, I'm about to false accuse Chud, and you have evidence like that. But when there's no, hey, there's no conspiracy plan that you have proof of, then the woman
Yeah.
just generally just walks free.
And it's much like you need to have the right evidence to prove that someone has committed an assault. You also, on the other side, need to have the right evidence that someone is conspiring to make a false allegation too. It kind of swings both ways, I think.
Yeah.
Damn, more feminist adjacent takes from Henry. I like it. Based.
I mean, it's just law based, I mean,
Okay.
people
Yeah.
can say I'm like some hardcore misogynist, but I remember I have a daughter to keep in mind,
Mm.
but no, it's just the law. You have the law and evidence. That's what I'm rooted. Law, evidence, not necessarily personal opinions.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think but chat, if you've got questions, start throwing them my way. I think that's kind of the main aspects of the XQC Adept stuff I wanted to get into before we start getting some questions through. The other thing I wanted to just ask about briefly, check in on the Adriana Lee situation. What's going on there?
God damn, man. So it's unfortunate for Adriana Lee. I covered it last night, and I think a video should be dropping in 13 minutes that explains what's going on with Adriana Lee. And in all seriousness, what happened to her is unfortunate. You don't want people touching you without your consent. But it's looking like it's GG for her. It's looking like it's GG. Mizkif's lawyer did a great job defending him finally, and he brought up how what happened to Adriana Lee was of concern to the Twitch community, which is a very large community, and it was. Unlike XQC, everyone talked about what happened to Adriana Lee. Even now, you and I are talking about what happened to Adriana Lee. When it happened, Hassan was interviewing her. Destiny had her on stream. Everyone was talking to Adriana Lee, so it makes it a public concern. She tried to argue that she was not a public figure, which I vehemently disagreed with. Ms. Gibbs' lawyer pointed out that she didn't choose to go after Crazy Slick through law enforcement, which she chose not to. She went for civil, which can kind of give credence that she did this for money. But the death blow of Ms. Gibbs' lawyer's defense was she filed out of the statute of limitations for defamation. You have 1 year to file for a defamation charge. She exceeded it by, let's see, it happened in 2020 in September. Was it 2021? She didn't file until March 2023. So, and you have the freedom of the free speech. That's what Ms. Gibbs' lawyer is arguing: free speech and statute of limitations to get out of the defamation and the harassment charge. And also saying she didn't earn $600,000, and everything he said was an opinion. So shout out to Ms. Gibbs, shout out to his attorney. We'll see what happens, but the only thing that's crazy is Crazy Slick has yet to file a a motion for freedom of speech because he didn't say anything. He just general denied all claims and said, "You didn't come for me for SA. If you want to sue me for SA, you got to do that." And it's 5 years for SA, the statute of limitations.
Yeah, I think with that particular case, and I would say maybe I'm even a bit guilty of this, particularly at the start talking about this, it's easy to view this whole case as a sort of case about what happened to Adriana Lee in terms of getting touched inappropriately, the allegation, and Ms. Kiff's alleged covering up of said incident. But it's not really about that when you look at it. It's more about the idea that she was blacklisted by being defamed,
Yeah,
and that so regardless of the outcome of that, it doesn't really speak to any truth of what did or didn't happen between her and Crazy Slick and what Mizkiff did and didn't do. And yeah, Adriana Lee, I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest that like she is perhaps seeking this case for financial reasons. I mean, there's the video of her talking about what a dire financial state she's in. You know, she could probably get a settlement.
$46,000 in debt.
Yeah, I mean, I see that she's making content and stuff now. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily a correct invocation of this idea of defamation based on some of the responses that you presented.
I just go with the court docs and sure, even at the beginning, I'm like, yeah, it's unfortunate what happened, but what's the defamation? And then when I found the defamation was him saying it was no big deal, and she groped Sear, and I was like, well, did she touch Sear? And people were like, yeah, she groped him. I'm like, oh shit. And I was wondering if they would have Sear bring him into the lawsuit and have him write like some sworn affidavit that statement that her groping Sear was a truthful statement, and it wasn't. So we'll see what happens with Ms. Kiff getting off this case, and then I'll figure out, what's my next line of content. Who knows?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. Every civil case is about money, but there's obviously cases where people have actually been harmed and they've had financial impediment or issues off the back of it. And I just, not being a legal expert, obviously, everything I've seen doesn't necessarily point towards there genuinely being this mass loss of earnings because of what happened. And, I think that she likely had some capability to make content and continue onwards. I mean, I don't
100%.
know. That's
And they showed that when this came out, her graph went like this. She was making money. She
yeah.
was gaining subs. The typical, like, even with a debt, when she came out, her shit was like this. So when she says, hey, she lost $600,000, I'm like, how? And she had like, it would be one thing if she said, hey, I had this contract with Chud Logic Entertainment to, support his channel and sponsor it. And as soon as this came out, Chud cut the contract. She had nothing of the sort. She just said missed out on subs and revenue. And she was looking for well over $1 million total.
And the other aspect as well is like some of this stuff is very behind closed doors, big streamers talking about each other. Like, I don't know if that's ever going to be possible to prove. I don't know if that have to be considered defamation, privately saying to someone, yeah, don't fucking have that person around for a party, they're trouble.
Which allegedly Crazy Slick did it, but she said, hey, she was supposed to go to like Soda Poppin's party or something, and she didn't get invited. Said she was going to get invited, and she never got invited. That's just what it was.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go through some questions then, if that's okay. And then obviously, if anyone's got questions for me,
what about this whole segment where you was going to try to see if we disagree on some things?
Oh, yeah. Do we disagree on anything? I saw you did a video about Russell Brand, and I didn't really like the thumbnail, but I didn't get around to watching it. So, what's your take on the Russell Brand situation?
Russell Brand he is experiencing what it's like for the government to try to cancel someone. UK Parliament wrote a letter.
Parliament wrote a letter, did they?
Yeah.
I don't think that happened. I think you're just going off of narratives you've seen on the internet.
I had the letter. I had the letter that Rumble said they
letter received. Is not from you, the British Parliament. I don't know what you're.
It's not. It's fake.
No, it's not fake. It's from what is it? It's a committee. It's a committee that oversees a department of government.
Okay. All right. So, mate, look, you would know you're
The
there.
thing is, the reason this is important, it seems like I'm splitting hairs, but there's a lot of narratives that are acting like the British government is trying to cancel Russell Brand. Okay, that's not what's happening. You could be
Okay.
critical of it, but be critical of the truthful issue at hand. A member of parliament, a single member of parliament who runs a committee that oversees our like cultural aspect of government, wrote a letter to Rumble asking about whether they intend to follow YouTube's lead, YouTube being the market leader in demonetizing Russell Brand's channel. Since then, to my knowledge, they've taken no further action. It seemed to me far more to be questions being asked of businesses in the lead up to a potential government inquiry rather than the government trying to put pressure on Rumble to cancel Russell Brand. But that's my interpretation.
Okay. Well, you there, so I
Well, no,
don't know.
don't,
All
no,
I,
no, 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 wait. I don't want it to be that I'm the expert just because I'm here, okay? Because I could be wrong about anything, regardless. I'm an idiot,
well,
okay? But I
just
just
for
don't like
one.
the false narratives that are perpetuating. Sorry,
Okay.
go on.
I think I did say like, oh, the government is trying to cancel. Proof the government is trying to cancel Russell Brand or whatever, something like that. But yeah, that is alarming that even one member wrote anything about his monetization based off again an accusation. He's not been convicted of anything, right, Chud? And we support men. We are innocent until proven guilty, correct?
Sure.
Or
So I agree it's alarming. That's a fine way to frame it, and I understand people don't like it. And I didn't find the tone of the letter particularly good. I wasn't on board with the letter. I didn't agree with it necessarily. I just didn't like the way it was overstated. Um,
really common.
And, if the government made some effort to try and force a platform to demonetize an individual off the back of allegations, I would fully be against that. I would not be on board with that whatsoever. Okay. Um, I just think that I just think we're in different places with this. I'm less concerned than you are, basically. Um,
Okay. I
that's
mean,
what it comes down to.
I was concerned at first, but YouTube told me not to be concerned when I saw it only had like 200 views. It's like, Henry, this ain't the way. I was like, okay,
Well,
okay, YouTube.
oh,
This
you
is
mean your
not.
video didn't get many views?
It got like maybe 200 views tops, and I'm like, this is very odd. And then like I cut two videos on it. I'm like, you mean to tell me only 200 people click this? What's going on?
I think it's probably because your channel is in the algorithm as
XQC.
like if I put stuff out, sometimes it just doesn't. It kind of flops. It just doesn't go how I want it to. But also, I think you're going to be drowned out by a lot of other coverage, not just from like mainstream news, but a lot of dissident, anti-government type channels. I think were talking about that, and they kind of sucked up all the views on that particular topic. So I
Oh yeah.
wouldn't take it to heart, is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Well, I was like, all right, I'm not covering this shit no more. Hopefully, whatever happens, happens. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's something else. But I don't think we pretty much are aligned with things for the most part.
Okay. The only other thing I wanted to ask about, okay, to try and get another argument going, right?
Let's go.
I think, and bear in mind, I didn't end up watching the video because there was so much other stuff happening at that time. I never got round to it. But there was something you said about Russell Brand being subjected to some sort of fake or doctored message. What was that all about?
Oh shit! Yeah, the text. Now look, I think Jack was like, no, they're just putting together the screenshots. So the text messages that were submitted by whatever the TV companies that wrote the hit piece on him, they posted some screenshots of text messages that he had from her, one of the victims. I think is the 16-year-old victim, but the age of consent is 16. But
Well,
that's
no, no,
that's
no, wait,
pretty.
wait, sorry. Let's just be clear. It wasn't the 16-year-old. It was from the person that accused him of rape, sexual assault in 2012 in Los
Okay.
Angeles. Yeah, that was an adult
Okay.
woman.
Okay. Yeah. So adult woman can accuse him, but there's a slit where the text messages break, and then you can like I edit. You probably edit. You can tell when something is not the same. Whereas like this text is clear cut, and the second part is bold and a little bit more noisy, which I said doctored. Other people said no, they just, it was a huge thread and they just cut it halfway through and just added the other parts on. And I'm
Okay.
like, whatever. I mean, people
Okay.
can think what they want with their opinions, but that's just what it was for me.
Okay, so do you still think it was doctored or fraud in some? Or what do you think of the text messages
I
at this
do think
point?
it was doctored. I think it was doctored because if
Okay.
you want to show a screenshot of something, you shrink everything on your phone and you show the whole damn screenshot. You don't like, oh well, this is halfway. Uh, that's not how you do it. Because when you want to do a screenshot, right? Even if you have to cut it in half, you still make sure the other part is visible in the screenshot. The part you cut from is still visible. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay, and who do you think doctored the image then?
Um, I hate to go conspiracy Andy on
No, listen,
this.
look, this is where we disagree. I want to have a bit of disagreement in here, okay? If you want to
But
move on and it's uncomfortable, we can, but I think this is fun.
no,
All in good nature, right?
uh, it would have to be the people writing the article, right? They want to make their story as compelling as possible, or as
Okay.
to have as many clicks as possible.
Right.
So if you can get this compelling text message out, why not?
So you're
Now go ahead.
claiming that a British paper fraudulently created text messages to paint Russell Brand as a rapist. Am I understanding that correctly?
No,
Okay.
I'm
What are you
saying,
saying then?
saying that they doctored the text messages that paint him as a rapist
Okay, doctored from what?
from
What
the
did they
original.
So what
From
did
the
the
original.
original say that's been taken
I
out from
have
this?
no idea. All I just saw was that it was edited. That's all I saw. Like, hey, it was edited. I don't know if it continued, but it's not one continuous picture. It's two pictures merged together on top of each, superimposed on top of each other.
Okay.
One screenshot.
So my explanation for that is,
Mhm,
as that clever chatter or whoever said that to you said, is that they've taken multiple messages, like you have to scroll normally to view it, and they've taken, say, two screenshots and stitched them together on one image. And there's
mhm.
also some other kind of artifacts on the image which suggests some sort of scanning or faxing has occurred or something like that. Bear in mind, it's a, paper you would pick up, they're probably using some sort of thing that we wouldn't be used to seeing on the internet. On the internet, you'd have a screenshot, but this is for printing in a paper, right? So
Right?
that's what I think happened. But so what you're saying, I want to be clear on this, is that they left something out of the messages.
I don't know
Um,
if they look them out. They just look
okay.
doctored. That's all I can say is they look
But
doctored. They
what's the
want
point of doctoring it if they're not leaving something out? They've either left something out or put something in, haven't they? There's no other. What else could they have done if you're saying they doctored it?
they probably left something out. They probably left.
Okay. And what
Now,
is it you think they left out?
I have no idea, but Russell Brand, if he has if that's on the iCloud, he could come out and say, "Hey, here's the full conversation. This newspaper is full of crap."
Well,
Which he
no, Henry. He wouldn't just. He could take the paper to court for defamation, as he's done multiple
100%,
times before. So why hasn't he?
100%.
Why hasn't he
I
done that? If this is like an obviously doctored image.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to act like I'm on the Russell Brand uh train where I watch everything he says, but you make a good point. He should go for defamation if he can prove that they are not being truthful with the information they show. But he
Yes,
hasn't.
and he's done this multiple times with multiple papers. He is a very litigious person. And I think what you're underestimating, I mean, first of all, not to be rude, but this is absolutely fucking ludicrous that you're suggesting a paper would doctor an image and publish it in the United Kingdom when defamation laws are as strong as they are, number one, okay?
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and number two, the other aspect to this as well is what could there possibly be that they haven't shown that would make Russell Brand look better from that interaction as it exists?
I don't know. I don't think nothing. You got me. I'm like, I'm not trying to.
Okay, listen, I feel bad because I don't want to like hammer you on this or whatever. Right? I'm trying to have fun with it. But I just feel like you've not really thought this through and you've kind of come to
I have
conclusions that are
not.
based on
I,
faulty grounding.
I scraped the surface with this Russell Brand thing. I'll be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
I didn't dig deep. I didn't go into the channel. I say, hey, here's the article. Here's the text messages. Here's my eyes in my brain, in my opinion.
Got you. Okay.
If someone thinks something else, go for it. People may say I'm jaded or I'm biased, but I'm just like, hey, it looks different. These two pictures don't look the same.
Because yeah, and charging Jim is bringing up another really good point, which I'm gonna brutally steal from chat. But he was contacted 8 days or 7 days before the story came out, so he had adequate time to actually stop. In the UK, you can file in court to stop stories coming out in the press
Which he has
using
done
injunctions
before.
and stuff like that. Um, I think I don't know. I think he might have done it before. I know he's taken papers to court for defamation. So the point is that, you know, and again, I'm not saying he's guilty of a crime. I've just got a personal opinion about this. But his actions to me would indicate that he doesn't seem to have much of a legal grounding to actually file for defamation, because in my belief, if he could have done, he would have done, and he probably would have stopped the story from coming out if there was legal grounds to do so. And the reason he's come out with his, oh, the Matrix are coming after me stuff is because he knows he's got nothing to fucking stand on, and he's got to rely on his audience to stoke up anti-institution sentiment to kind of be on his side and back him up. And I think you, with your stupid takes, are playing cover for that.
You hurt my feelings, Chud. My stupid takes. Oh, this interview, guys.
I feel bad because you were quite kind about me getting something wrong, and now I'm just going crazy on you. But listen, I'm having a good time. Okay, it's all in good nature. No hard feelings. Okay,
it's all fun, man. You know.
Okay.
Some of these streamers just take things so personally, but I just like, oh, this is a conversation. You think a friend of mine has never called me stupid before? Okay. Hell yeah. Like, what the hell? That's what friends are for, to call out people when when they do stupid things or maybe have a stupid take. It is what it is. I'm friends with people who do not agree with my lifestyle. They think it's deplorable. And I say, okay, well, when you at home next to your wife stroking your meat because she won't have sex with you, think about me. Okay. I'm not.
Okay, there's other things we can come back round to agree on, but the final thing I just want to ask on the Russell Brand stuff is, like, regardless of getting into the individual nitty gritty details, what's your kind of general opinion on the nature of the allegations? Like, is there any merit to them, or what do you think should happen?
I think it's extremely heinous. However, I hate, this is a very unpopular opinion. Did he do it? Was it consensual or was it aggressive? Did he take it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Will he only be tried in a court of public opinion? Because I know they're investigating him now. I said, hey, they're investigating him for these actions that being alleged against him. Will anything come from it? If he is not charged with anything, then all of his monetization should be restored 100%. Because him and XQC, hey, it's just an allegation. Sure, you can say the evidence is compelling, but will it lead to a charge, a criminal charge? Will it even lead to a civil lawsuit? If none of those things come to fruition, then all of this was a bread and circus pony show. And which will give him more credence that people are trying to cancel him.
I could break bread on the idea that I agree monetization should come back if further action isn't taken. I think criminal steps are the next best steps to proceed forward. And, you know, that's the best possible outcome for all involved, is if there is good quality police investigation that leads to a charge and a conviction, well, that's justice served. So that's the best way forward. I think we can all agree on that. Okay, let's get back to stuff we probably agree on. Actually, I don't know if we will, because this is an interesting one. I'm sure you know a bit about this. The Sniper Wolf case.
Oh my God, I have her divorce documents. I have them.
No way!
Yes. They're coming out next week. This case is so phenomenal. I'm talking like my mind was blown reading it. Like, yeah, so I do have her divorce documents. It's actually 2 divorces. If you guys look, this is stuff I've yet to divulge to anyone. It's 2 divorce cases. I think one got tossed out. It's like they was like, oh, she filed for divorce, and she alleged like some heinous, like he took $1 million out of their account and locked her out of some shit. Then I guess they kissed and made up. But the most recent lawsuit is him. He alleges her husband, Evan Sausage, they are married until dissolved, took control. She took control of Channel Red, which is all their YouTube channels, and started taking brand deals and not giving him money because they are splitting everything 50-50. His gripe is money, and you cut me out the company that I created. And I showed that he did create the company. I brought up his LLC and everything. He is the brains behind, he alleges he's the brains behind the whole SS Sniper Wolf. He gets the content, he writes the script, and she just reads the script and she doesn't really react. She's reading a script while playing videos. I think that's like amazing. Like people, no one is talking about this. No, like I mean, I don't get no traction on it. I think I drop them like, hey guys, her reviews are fake. Here's the court documents that say they're fake. People are like, is XQC married? I kid you not. But I think it's a great case. I can't wait to go through both divorces and show everyone everything that's been going on. But stolen content, fake reactions. She got $1 million, like she has over $1 million in the bank. And the only reason I know that is because she accused him of taking out $1 million. I'm like,
Actually,
God.
this has just reminded me, you've got some competition on this particular case. There is a white gay version of you called, what's the guy's name, chat? I can't remember his name. But
Matt Gasker
yes,
or
that's the guy. Yeah. How'd you know about him already? What?
When I was looking, all right, when I do the court documents, I look to see if they're publicly available somewhere else.
Okay.
Because it saves me time or whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, he covered it. And like I had his version of the court documents 3 weeks before I posted my version because I wanted to wait till I really got them myself. And their court system is so slow. But that guy's a great content creator.
Yeah.
I watch his stuff. He has great case. And I was like, oh man, this is a great case. I can cover it. Because me and him kind of do the same thing, but you know, he has his flair, I have mine. That we kind of add to the content. He does it way different. He's just a vibe guy. I love the live stream. I love talking to people. I love interacting with chat.
If you were to like kind of describe the different vibes that you have, you know, how would you put that into words?
My vibe is always comedy. Like it's edutainment, if you will. Okay. We're gonna laugh and then we're gonna learn. And I'm not gay. You have that.
I don't actually know if he's gay, but he's got the kind of flair of like a gay friend giving you the tea on something that's happened, you know?
I don't. If he is, he is. If he ain't, he ain't. I don't care. I've never been the guy who cared about if people were gay or not. That's never been my. Hey, one of my good friends is actually gay. He's in like a throuple or a throuple. He's married, has a husband and a boyfriend. They all live in one house.
Hey,
horses
and horses.
And they're in an open relationship, so they all go out and do crazy stuff. I just be like, "Oh, how was your weekend?" I'll be like, "Oh shit, I just wanted to yes or no, like it was good or bad." I didn't even like all the full details of you with some other guy and that you never been with. I was like, "Oh god," but anyway, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I've known him for like over a decade.
Just to kind of summarize though, just the Sniper Wolf thing, because just in case anyone doesn't know, basically Sniper Wolf famously got engaged and married to one of our moderators, this sausage fellow, and yes. they were the subject of much memes because it's the classic meme of hot streamer getting with a moderator. Moderators around the world have hope, right? But now they're getting divorced, and he is trying to make some claim on the money. And normally you'd be like, well, same situation as when a woman does it to a man. What right has he got? However, he is like a big 50-50 partner of the business that they've got. And he's claiming he is like a very big kind of cog in the machine of creating the content. And that now he's the brains behind it, essentially. She's the looks, he's the brains. And he's trying to, claim that Sniper Wolf has like mugged him off of money from sponsorships and has set up new YouTube channels which are derivative, and he's therefore got some right to. It's quite it's almost like more about the business than the divorce, isn't it? It's quite complex, I'd say.
100%. No one gives two shits about the marriage. It's a covenant before God. No, they like, fuck God. What about the money? That's what they are. Like, hey, I want half the channel. Now, the crazy thing is they are great together content creation wise. They're like, they're Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on the content creation tip. You've built this $1 million empire, and what is about to really shut it down that y'all are no longer sleeping with each other, but y'all still under the same house. Y'all are back to sharing access to the page. But it's not just SS Sniper Wolf. There are other channels involved under this Channel Red LLC that they created. Basically, all the channels and all the money goes through Channel Red LLC, which he created that they both own 50-50. Now, because they're married, there is no like, well, he didn't say 50-50. It doesn't fucking matter, guys. If you marry, half of every dollar you make is your wife's. and vice versa for that instance. But not too many people know him because he's behind the camera. So on the surface, you may like, oh, look at this loser. He's trying to take her money when he's like, like loser. I made Sniper Wolf who she is today. You can say that Andrew Tate her. Hey, this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna do the content like this. You're gonna read the script. I'm gonna play the games. I'm gonna rip my gameplay. I'm gonna put a controller in your hand. I'm gonna put a script in front of your face, and you're just gonna read the teleprompter. And after it, I'm gonna cut it up and I'm gonna upload it, and we're gonna split the profits 50-50. She's the face. He's more the director, writer. She's the actress.
So the only thing I'd say is that like you've got more knowledge than me clearly, but at the moment all I've seen is his side of it, his filings. I don't know if you want to say if you've got secret information or something, or you're going to reveal it later. But surely she's got some argument or some case to bring herself. Like when you hear one side of the story at the moment, surely we can't come to too firm a conclusion, can we?
No. In her divorce document, she says she is the creator of Channel Red, and she created the SS Sniper Wolf channel.
Right, got it. Okay.
So it's like basically everyone's saying the same thing, and it's like, well, we know she never said he didn't create the game footage. So all the game footage you guys saw her react to that got probably millions of views, that was his gameplay. And she was reading the script. That's the biggest thing for me. They're fighting over money and access to the company. I'm like, you got a person faking reactions, and people are like, so, so it's a genius idea. It's a genius idea, and there's another guy who does the same thing that Evan Sausage does. The guy who runs Raw Talk. What's his name? Anyone know? Bradley Martin. He runs a consultant company. Say you're a woman and you want to get famous, and he sees you has potential. He signs you to his management company. He runs your OnlyFans. He runs your YouTube. He brings you on the show. And all he's asking for is 30%. 20% initially. Then after you get popping, 30%, 10-year contract or 5-year contract. I never clipped a video on it, but I did do a live stream with his court docs when he sued one of his clients for breach of contract. But what do you think of it? Would you ever consider yourself being a consultant and managing some woman's YouTube account and giving her content in a script?
I try and stay away from women as much as possible for starters. But secondly, yeah, I mean, it's a great content idea, isn't it? It's a great idea. You have a hot woman do it. That gets eyes, but let the man be the brains. Perfect, right?
If there was a woman covering XQC, all you need is a low cut top, throw some glasses on, and I got what 17K subs. She'll probably have 170K subs, and she go at a depth for being crazy, probably 270K subs.
Yes,
But when you put
exactly.
my ugly mug on the camera, and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Another day, another woman wants half. Shit like that.
Yeah.
No one cares. But it's a great idea for Evan Sausage. So shout out to him for having a vision.
Because the problem, I guess, you're going to have from Sniper Wolf's perspective is I presume that he's making these claims. These are likely to be backed up with documents and messages and all sorts, surely, right?
100%. But it's not even about the content. It's just about the money. That's it. It's literally, hey, we own the company. We're married. Everything should be split 50-50. You've cut me out of making decisions regarding who we take brand deals with. In turn, he cut her out the goddamn YouTube channel. But now that I see the videos are being uploaded daily, chances are they're back together because they're stupid. If Sniper Wolf is watching this and Evan, you are stupid to try to separate. Y'all are fucking printing money. And I don't know, whatever frivolous beef you got going on with each other, but push that shit to the side, get that goddamn money, keep, doing your TikTok shit, keep it going. Y'all don't want to live under the same.
Divorce fine, but keep the business relationship going.
100%. 100%. And like the
Rock. What if he's
did.
raped her?
Oh, God.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my God.
I couldn't resist, okay? I couldn't resist that one. But no, obviously, yes, I see where you're coming from, in all seriousness. They should try and maintain a professional relationship. I mean, I'm interested to hear your perspective, though. Does this maybe show that you shouldn't mix business and pleasure?
100%. 100%. It rarely works out. Rarely works out. And when it doesn't work out, right? Let's just say they cannot agree. Someone is going to have to buy someone out of the company or sell the goddamn YouTube brand. And I'm sure some big brand person would buy it up in a heartbeat and they split the proceeds. And Sniper Wolf will probably agree to continue to be the face of the organization and buy him out. So it can destroy the business if they can't agree. Because all he has to do is say, all right, I want the channel is worth, let's just say 10 million. It's generate 10 million a year. You times it by like 5 or 10. Like, hey, I need 50 million from you, Sniper Wolf. And then the company's yours. And I walk away. And do she got 50 million? Fuck no. But Chud Media does. Hey, we'll buy it.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll buy that shit out.
And then you start running a Pepsi TikTok in between, to all that good stuff.
This is more of the personal aspect of it, but there's been some conversation around the idea that he's like an ugly, schlubby guy and she's an attractive woman, and apparently he cheated on her. And people are saying, how is that possible? Like, he's an ugly guy. What the hell? What are your thoughts on that?
He got money. Okay. He has money. He's driving a car that that's worth more than most people earn in a year.
Got you. Okay.
So you think some woman, and guess what? If he tells a woman, "Hey, I made Sniper Wolf. Hey, can you make me? Can you make my YouTube channel? Can you do YouTube for me? I'll read the script. I'll give you 70%. He's fucking great like that. If you can take someone who was worth nothing and make them a fucking millionaire, that's a talent. That's a skill. If he made one Sniper Wolf, he can make another one. I was like, hey, I'll hire him as a content manager. Hey, what should I be doing, man? Shit. But I just can't react to TikToks. And someone say he's a walking tripod. I don't know about that in my chat.
Okay, if you're comfortable to, should we start to ask some questions before we wrap this up? Yeah, got a few in the chat.
Ask me anything.
Okay, this can sometimes lead to some interesting comments, so we'll see. Right, this one's a long one, but I'll ask it all. Question for Henry, the woman slayer. Okay, in seeking justice for Adriana, what would justice be in the eyes of Henry?
She would have to go after Crazy Slick. She would have to go after Crazy Slick for touching her. Now, the evidence is very circumstantial because it's hearsay. But I think it's common knowledge that he touched her. Go after Crazy Slick. Maybe you get some money out of it. Is he going to go to jail? No. But you go after Crazy Slick and ask for him to cover all the legal fees.
Okay. And there's more to this question. If considering she was blackballed unjustifiable or not, how do we make Adriana whole reasonably?
It's one of those things where you can't. I mean, she wasn't necessarily blackballed. She just, it's like I come on Chud's channel probably like, once a month when shit's hot. Sure, I come on. And then 9 months go past, I'm never on Chud's channel. And they like, oh, Chud blackballed me. It's like, no, he just doesn't want you on his channel. They just don't want you in the friends group anymore. And once you file a lawsuit like this, hell no, I don't want you around in the friends group. Hell no. You'll sue if you don't get your way? No. Get the hell out. Get the hell away from me. And it sucks because that's her content. They will never collab with her. You're not going to see Mizkif on her streams. You're not going to see any OTK orbiter working with Adriana Lee. Ever.
Yeah, that's actually interesting because I've not thought of that. As again, the business and pleasure thing is that some of this stuff is not just pure business; it's relationships and friendships, and people are not going to want to be friends with you, even if you've been wronged in some way. That's just.
And she's living in their backyard. She lives in Austin. Austin is OTK land. If you in OTK land and your name's not Poke, where you can tank the hate, you're shit out of luck. Because OTK runs Austin. You want to go to a party, you got to kiss the OTK ring.
Yep. Very true. And the final part of this question was just to say, you are Maya Henry Higa.
Shout out to my Higas in the chat.
Okay, so we've got a mixed bag here. Do you see any path for Adept to use the screenshots in the future now that she has felt some punishment for using them?
Hell no. Every time she used those screenshots, she is violating XQC's privacy and subjugating herself to further litigation. And she got smart and she started reading them, which I think is still dangerous. So no, she's not using those screenshots. Now she can start alluding to things like she has done in the past. But I know your favorite streamer does this. Sure, even though we know it probably is from a text message she illegally obtained. She's leaked fucking phone conversations. It's she needs to be held accountable one good time, whether that be a fine or jail or whatever, and then she'll stop.
Do you think she should go to jail?
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
No. If XQC really pushes it and goes full Nina Agdal like she's like Logan Paul's wife, maybe. But I don't think XQC is going to go that far to, hey, I want jail time. He's not going to do that.
Okay. Have you been following the JF Gary Epi investigation that's currently occurring?
No, his fucking wife disappeared, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if they're asking for your opinion on that, if you know about it.
They're going like a trip to the mountains, 2 go, 1 come back. I went to sleep, she was gone.
I think that's the funnier idea. I mean, obviously, that's not funny someone's dead, but the fact that JF Gary Epi might have killed someone, but I don't know if there's like good evidence for that to make that claim. But it's just all of his statements have been incredibly suspicious. Like, for example, he talked about sterilizing his house after she moved out.
Hell yeah, man. That bad energy. Bruh. My ex-wife is trying to sue me for $100 a month now, right now.
You can relate to that, can you?
Hell yeah. I threw all her shit out. Like, I don't want none of this shit in this house. Like, I saw a picture of it. I was like, hey, we gotta get that shit out of here. Now, if my daughter has a picture she wants, then that should stay in my daughter's room. But I don't need that like in the main area of the house. But yeah, hell yeah, man. Get all that shit that reminds you out about her.
Okay, I think one thing to bear in mind the context though is that he's saying that he went and dropped her off somewhere with like camping equipment.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How convenient, huh? How convenient. Wife goes missing after you drop her off for camping gear. Do they got GPS tracking on his ass to see where he dropped her off? That if I'm investigating him, I'm like, okay, where was he at 10 days leading up to her disappearance? Do we have cell phone data that we can track? Where was his cell phone pinging off for towers? How about that? Okay, let's check those remote areas for a fucking body. And that, like, shit, like, this is investigation 101. Hey, okay, he was last seen here. Where did he say he dropped her off at? Okay, search in the opposite area of where he said he dropped her off at.
Because the other argument that kind of the JF defenders are making at the moment is that it's standard or normal that someone would want to leave their partner and then just essentially disappear into the wilderness or go live off the grid or something like that.
Since when?
I don't know if that's what they say.
Yeah, I want a divorce. Drop me off in the wilderness. I'm going to live off the land. I just need a week of clothes and some, a fishing rod or something. Like, what the fuck? Man, if they don't get out of here with this, he likely tombstoned her ass. I'll just say it. He likely tombstoned her. When spouses go missing, the spouse that's not missing is the prime suspect. In 99% of cases, they likely did that shit. It's rare for them not to be.
Chat keep shouting at me to tell you she has also got some level of intellectual disability as well.
What the fuck? So he dropped off his mentally disabled wife in the woods and didn't bat an eye?
Look. I overall agree with this because it's funny, but I don't know if it was like in the woods. Okay, I don't think he like literally drove through the woods, but he did drop it off, and the idea was that she would go and live off the grid. He referred to it as almost like a James Bond style existence. You know, I think he literally referenced 007, like
Did
having
he
the hood up and not getting recognized and stuff like
did he
that.
put a raw steak in her backpack to attract bears or something when he dropped it off? Like,
Well, I guess
here's
that's
some food.
the other theory is that he acted in a way that perhaps has led to some bad outcome for her, even if he didn't kill her.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hey, I'm about to drop her off in the middle of nowhere. Take her goddamn cell phone. I didn't kill her, guys. I
She had a
dropped
cell
her
phone.
off.
No, wait, she did have a cell phone. We need to get this right. She had a cell phone, and there was some sort. He claims there's some sort of electronic trail that's been left of her, and the police have said that after 2 days after he claims he dropped her off, there was a sighting of her somewhere. That's kind of what we know so far.
Where in the hell is this at? It's not in America because this camera's everywhere.
It's in Canada.
Oh,
Some small. Well, for Canada, it's probably big, but like some
well, under the
town.
guise of me saying all men are innocent until proven guilty, I gotta stay the code. He's innocent, but this shit look real sketchy. It looked real sketchy. I can't lie. Like, wait, did he drop her off in one of the most populated bear countries? Spots? Like she wanted to live in the woods, so I picked the
Okay.
most populated bear. That had the most bear attacks on humans. I put a steak in her backpack for her to cook later, and I haven't seen her since. And I know I'm probably about to collect the life insurance at some point because she's been missing for quite a while. What's the life insurance look like?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if that is that angle, but I think we kind of overall agree. Innocent until proven guilty, yes, for legal consequence. But I think you're well within your rights to see this as very suspicious, and it's not unreasonable that people might conclude that he's done something with her.
5 months missing. She is dead, guys. She's dead. She's dead. You know what? The crazy thing, there was a famous actor who went hiking in the mountains
Welcome
of
to Chud
California. He was missing
Nation.
for a long time.
Got my
He
shovel
fucking broke
gonna
his leg
bury
and
some
died.
gold.
Right?
He was
Yeah.
the guy who played the original, what's the movie? Warlock, the original Warlock. I'm showing my age because I'm old as shit, but if back in the day, Warlock was a good movie.
Okay, we'll try and rattle through some more questions, a few more here. You said the XQC Adept Court documents are sealed. Will they ever be unsealed in the future?
Possibly, probably not the protective order because it's kind of embarrassing for XQC, and they sealed it to protect XQC's record. It's more so for him than for her. But the marriage, kind of like the Johnny Depp thing, after shit was all said and done, it got unsealed maybe a month or two later, and everyone who was covering it start going after every piece of court documents that were unsealed, all the evidence that was withheld, all the sidebar conversations. Now, this is a small Texas court who kind of do things their own way, whereas like Johnny Depp was adamant about not sealing the case. Whereas XQC is kind of like go along to get along. There was no pushback on him sealing the case. So I can't see him going full Johnny Depp. Like, no, I want my shit unsealed. I want Henry to cover it because I want the world to see what a trifling bitch this person was. I don't think he's gonna go that route.
Okay. Someone says, can Adept be banned on Kick? I mean, I don't think she can, but I guess I could say, do you think Adept should be banned on other platforms ahead of her streaming on there?
No, I'm not for that ban. Let her talk. Shit, we get paid when Adept talk. We
Okay,
get
that's
paid.
fair enough. Yeah. Oh, actually, one other question on that. Do you think the Twitch ban, regardless of your bias towards making money, do you think the Twitch ban was fair for her?
Yeah, I mean, she was doxing people, and I've been accused of doxing, but I didn't get banned because everything I get is legally obtained. So I guess Zos' name is not really out there in the public, or it's kind of like Ms. Kipsey is, and then it was on this public court document. Um, so she doxed her, and then she was sharing text messages that she were not a part of the conversation. That goes against a lot of things. A lot of people have that. You need to be a part of the conversation. Now, it's one thing when I'm looking up a court document, say, "Hey, this is public record, guys. This is all legally obtained. This is nothing illegal." But she violated his privacy. Could you imagine if some man went into her phone and started outing her sexcapades?
Yes, Henry, exactly my point as well. I agree with you. Fuck me. Oh my
Oh,
god, it's absurd.
oh yeah, I went through her phone, guys. Look, she had sex with Chud Logic. You know, she did this with Chud. She did
Wait,
that with Chud. Look, Chud is denying it, but look, here, this is what Chud said. You remember the name? You remember that position that we like? You know, shit like that. Whoever said that they would be canceled instantly. You would make it probably 5 minutes before banned, perma banned, not temporary, but perma banned. She also called out Coconut B a girl for being, having his self deletion thoughts. Come on, man, like this shit is wild, wild. But people are covering for her. It shows that you can't hold women accountable for anything.
okay, so question for me. I've never seen him and Martin Lawrence in the same room. Are they the same person? Only love. Henry is quite the handsome gentleman.
Well, thank you. You know what I'm saying? If you're really interested, I run a strict program. We negotiate the outcome up front.
Okay, another question for Henry the Woman Slayer. What should all men do if they want companionship? Just buy an escort to hug, or should we go and become a monk?
If you look, guys, my lifestyle is not for everyone. But if you truly want a companion, um, you got to date. You got to date. You got to go the normie route. You got to date a woman. Say, hey, I'm looking for a companion. Be upfront with her. Hey, I'm looking for someone I want to spend a decent amount of time with. Just be. All I want men to do is be transparent with women. You're transparent with them. Hey, I want to be with a woman that I spend a certain amount of time with. I want to make sure we have sex at this amount of frequency. Negotiate that frequency up front, fellas, or you get jammed up later. But negotiate up front what you want. Be honest. That's all I'm saying. Hey, be honest with the women. And ask them what the fuck they want. Hey, are you looking for a companion? Are you looking for someone that you want to be with long term? Are you looking for monogamy? Or is your ass gonna be going out with Chud Logic for dinner because he's offering it? Shit like that. That's all I'm saying. You want companionship? Go out there, find it. Let a woman know. But protect yourself. Protect yourself. Cohabitation agreement. Prenup if you're getting married.
Okay, there's a bit of hostility in the tone, but I'll read it nonetheless. Would you put your daughter's court papers in front of thousands of people if she did something similar to a debt? Would you
I
excommunicate your
fucking
daughter if she was a debt?
I fucking would. If my daughter does anything that goes against the grain, I probably won't put her court documents out there. But I have to talk to my daughter. Like, look what father went through, just raising her. And for you to put a false allegation on another man, that goes against everything your dad stands for. And I would just be like, we gotta talk this through. We it would hurt my soul for her to false allegate another man to the core, to the core. And I probably would not talk to her anymore. And then she'll have some grandkids, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I want to see my grandkids, shit like that. But yeah, it'll hurt, man. It'll hurt. I love my daughter so much, and if she was to become a human parasite or false alligator man, it would break me. It'd break me because I've been a victim of stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that, for chaps like us who have got certain takes about things online, who have got daughters, I think there's
Yeah,
this perception that, like obviously we are concerned about our daughter as well. It's like, of course we care
100%.
about the men, but we also have this, we don't want our daughter to not have bad things happen to her and want her to thrive in life. So there's that angle too that we have to consider.
I don't want her doing OnlyFans either. I don't
Yeah,
want her.
I'm with you on that.
I don't want my daughter to come to me, baby. Please, I can pay you whatever OnlyFans is for you to maintain your dignity. And if you're gonna do OnlyFans, you better be fucking Amaranth type OnlyFans. Don't be so fucking bottom of the barrel OnlyFans. It's either you're gonna be top OnlyFans or you're not doing OnlyFans at all. But that's what I would want for my daughter.
Um, okay. What is up with XQC's rare watch that went missing?
I don't know. It's grand larceny if you catch her with it. It's grand larceny. in jail time if you catch her with that watch. So it's he said his watch went missing. What do you, people said they saw him put it in a bag. He went to sleep, watch was there, woke up, watch was gone. It's a trophy. She can't get half his money. At least she got the stupid watch. Hopefully she catch her. I hope he catch her with it. I hope someone catch her with it. I hope she try to pawn that shit. I hope she try to sell that shit. And then she get caught. And then they report it to law enforcement and they hit her with grand larceny. If she pawned it, no. No. They should be running that shit. He should report it stolen. That's a great question you should ask you. Did you report the watch stolen? Did you collect insurance on it?
Okay. Have you had any abuse directed at you from Ms. Kids or Adept fans?
Hell yeah. Men's kids told me to put my head in the noose when I start covering this shit.
What, literally? That's a bit racialized, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not really.
I don't care. Look, I'm like pushing 40. You think I care about what some like virgin 24-year-old tells me? Hell no. Hell no. Let the men's kids do men's kid shit. But yeah, I've gotten hate. I've like you're obsessed with men's kids. I'm like, I've cut in probably 100 videos on XQC. Probably like 10 videos on Mizkif, and they're all court doc related, with the exception of his Rumble rant where he was going off on people looking at Imaru's thighs. So it's just content to me. I'm like, oh, it's content. Hey, I'm covering this court case. He did what? All right, let's load this shit up. I'll clip it. I'll make probably like $10 on the VOD from people hate watching, and it's just content, guys. People take this shit so personal. It's not personal for me.
But I mean, if it's their lives, it's personal for them, isn't it?
Hell yeah. I'm like, I'm going to a haunted house. I'm going to a nice dinner tonight. I'm meeting with a nice woman tonight. We're going to have a fucking great time today. And that's going to be my life. They're going to be watching Ms. Kid fucking play Mario for the 1,000th time. Fuck. Two different perspectives. Okay.
Listen, watching streams is great. Okay, let's not let anyone feel bad for watching a streamer. All right,
But the
Jesus.
content is different. On Saturdays, I like to get my dick wet. Sorry, that's just what it is.
But no, I think I agree that like there's definitely people who get way too invested, and
100%.
you know,
Even with XQC, people are going above and beyond to harass fucking Adept, which I told people stop doing, stop harassing her, stop pulling guns on stream, talking about you want to defend XQC. Like, stop doing that shit. It hurts him more than it helps him. But people are gonna like, no, do that. Now, people telling me put my head in the noose. I don't care. People saying I'm a bad father. There's someone in real life saying the same thing that has way bigger impact on me than the people online.
There's a question here, but I don't know if you know the context. There was recently a Valorant caster, esports caster, that had an allegation levied privately behind the scenes to an organization he worked for. He was let go from the org, and then he publicly spoke out about what had happened. And he claimed it wasn't a sexual assault; it was a misunderstanding during sex. She then released a video with some dubious claims that didn't really seem to add up. Did you follow this at all? Do you know about this?
I did not. I mean, the latest scandal I've been following is the Trevor Bauer.
Oh, I need to look into that. Actually, that's yeah.
Content gold of a woman false accusing someone. Make sure when you cover it, you cover his video in her interview where he said he's manipulating text messages. And the lady was like, "What do you mean? You said you got your hooks in them." How did he manipulate that? Can that mean anything other than you're trying to extort money from him? She's like, "Well, no, not really." She was waffling.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen another video of her laying in bed next to him, seemingly very happy with herself.
The night after, the day of, where she said he beat her face in. Like, these women, man, not all of them, but if you got money, protect yourself. All they see you as is a come up. That's it. You're a utility.
Well, I think this is the kind of downside of the Me Too movement. Is as much as there's people emboldened to come forward that have had bad things happen to them, there are also people that see the benefits that could come from the other side, and they have designs of their own, don't they?
What would I say to someone said, what would I say to her if I ran into her in person? Adept? Nothing. I wouldn't say shit to her. Sorry. Go ahead. Any questions y'all got for Chud on my channel? All I think I got 15,000 people watching. How many any questions, guys?
Um, sorry, Zesty Fungi is loves to hear what you got to think about lots of different things, but got another just one more question here from them. While that your chat maybe comes from questions if you've got any, do you think the average guy could beat back adept type lies in court like XQC has?
Hell no. The average guy's life is over. 100K earner guy, life is over because you got a 900K guy probably has a 9 to 5. The allegation comes out, it's going to get reported to your job. You're likely going to get fired. You don't have the thousands of dollars to hire he hired one of the best attorneys in the state of Texas to defend him. You don't have that type of money, guys. And then to hold it all off, she said, "Hey, give me a settlement." 100K guy, your fucking life is over. You might bang yourself at 100K if someone put a false allegation on you. And it's just unfortunate, man. But look, here's how you can avoid a false allegation, guys. After your night of romance, send her a text message and say, "Thank you for a good time tonight. I had fun." Boom. If she replies, "Yeah, it was great," save that shit. Save it. Just be like, huh, got it saved. She come back saying you beat her face in. You say, "Hey, I text her this." And if you got cameras at your house, record her leaving. Record her walking out. Kiss her on her cheek. Just for the camera. Save it. But most men are not going to do that.
And well, the other problem as well is there's now endless justification for women doing potentially very rational things. Like they might argue, well, she said that, but she hadn't figured out that she'd been raped yet.
How do you not know if he was raped? How do you not know?
Well, I think that there's obviously, if you are a full on raped, knife to the throat type situation, I think that's going to be pretty obvious to anyone. But the argument that's made is that there are kind of borderline situations that maybe go from someone being a bit pushy and unreasonable. I mean, that gets framed as rape
Oh,
sometimes, but there's like a line, and sometimes we'll push it too far and they don't realize till after. Or this is another classic: they speak to their friends and their friends let them know that actually they think that was sexual assault, and then they kind of frame it like that.
I hate the whole "I couldn't say no" argument. He was going to hurt me if I said no. That's typically where that gleams from. He was forceful. He was pushy. He was aggressive about it. But at the end of the day, you never said no. I literally hate that argument, and I think it's women should stop doing it. Hey, tell him no. Tell him no. Pull out your goddamn phone. If you're in the midst of getting raped or a guy is playing pushy, this is for the women watching, all two of you. Say no, pull out your phone, start recording. "Hey, no, I do not want to have sex with you." He will back the fuck off. The phone is so powerful, guys. Just, "Hey, I don't want to have sex. Get out of my face. I want to leave. Can I leave?" I mean, but women are afraid, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's this kind of crazy narrative that's gone around that if you express your boundaries strongly to a man, that they're just going to rape you anyway. And whilst that is a possibility, I guess, I don't think that you can base your life on edge cases, and you've got to go forward, you know, protecting yourself from eventualities, right?
This is where transparency can help save men and women sometime. Hey, let them know up front. "Hey, tonight we're not having sex." "Hey, I just want to let you know. Hey, tonight we're not having sex. No matter what, I have a no sex on the first date rule. Unless you XQC, then you can smash raw, and I'll just take a plan B later." But that's just typically how it works. Just let all jokes aside, just let men know, "Hey, we're not having sex tonight." I mean,
If there's any questions for me, I can answer
any
them.
questions, guys? I
If,
don't
if
think any.
there's if it's not, I've got a few more here. We can just round this
Oh,
off to
keep
like.
going, man. Let's keep going.
Um, What is the average cost of wait time for the court documents that you get, and does it vary state by state?
Hell yeah. Anything federally I can get same day. For Sniper Wolf, it's damn near like 2.5 weeks. And I got a fucking badge. I'm like, hey, I requested my Sniper Wolf stuff. Are you guys gonna get it? They like, hey, has it been 10 days? I'm like, yeah. Has it been 10 business days? I'm like, well, not really. All right, well, wait 10 business days and call back if you don't get the notification that your court docs are ready. It's crazy. Someone got chimed out for asking a long question.
I've actually got this. This kind of remind. There's a religious Prince Pascal's wager. I think is much like this in some ways. If the options are to say no and get raped, or say yes and get raped, the former is probably preferable if there's potential to not end up getting raped.
Oh my God! What type of rape culture shit are y'all going? If the question is say no and get raped, and then say yes to get raped,
Well, I think the
which
point
rape?
they're making is if someone is being pushy with you, right? I mean, maybe it's not worded in the best way. I think if someone's being pushy with you and you just quietly consent, or something is happening, or you don't stop them even though you don't want to, something's going to happen that you don't want it to anyway. But if you make clear no, there's at least a chance that that isn't going to happen, and it's more likely that you're not going to have something happen that you don't want to. So you're better off saying no, even if there's a chance you might get assaulted, versus not saying anything and not fully consenting and getting assaulted in another way anyway.
Mm,
Does that even make sense to you? I don't know. I think
that
I
makes sense
understand.
to me. Um, the moment a guy asks you to have sex and you say no, you need to go home. You need to remove yourself from the situation. Do not tell a guy no, you don't want to have sex. I'm like, I'm still gonna sleep over, because now you're putting yourself at risk of it happening even without your consent. Because what a guy's gonna do? You say no, he's gonna try to change your mind. He's gonna be like, oh well, what about if I just put the tip in? Shit like that. What if we just cuddle? Shit like that. Shit. I never really had a hard time with women per se, but I've known other guys who have. So, and that's some of the common tropes they do. Let me give you a massage. Let me put the tip in. Here, put on my pajamas. Shit like that. Just remove yourself from the situation, women. And I do have a woman who's trying to ask a question on my channel, but she keeps typing this long ass question.
Yeah, I think people need to just make it like a line or something like that normally. Yeah, no, sure. I mean, I don't think we've got any disagreement there. I think that there's been a lot of sort of pendulum swing, which in some ways is justified because it was pretty crazy in the past with some of these interactions, especially with like marital situations and stuff like that. Um, but like we've gone to the direction now where a woman is just an absolute like the idea that it doesn't do anything when it's very obvious that yes, if you're in a room with someone and they're trying to have sex and you don't want to have sex, you need to leave because it's unlikely the man is going to let up in that situation. And although it's not always the case they're going to like fully grape you, they're probably going to be extremely pushy. Men, when they have got certain feelings, can be very pushy. And it's as much as you can say men shouldn't do that, we all agree with that. There's certain physiological realities that exist that make men just become crazy in those situations, so they will
Oh,
be pushy, right?
yes. I have a question for you,
Okay, sorry,
Chud.
yeah, go on.
It's kind of long, but the gist of it is, you think a photo of a topless man or a woman in a bikini has any place on? Whoa, whoa, whoa! I got a question, a legit question. I would love an answer to. I was on WhatsApp, the trading card app. A female got into an argument with had her in a bikini as a cover photo. Do you think women should be using bikini cover photos in WhatsApp?
Bikini cover photos. I think
Yes.
there's okay. I think I get an idea of the underlying concept here. Um, if they're single, then sure. I personally would be a bit uncomfortable if my partner was using a bikini photo as like a WhatsApp cover photo, because to me, there's sort of underlying sexual aspect there which people try and deny. Um, you know, uh, it depends on the circumstances. I mean, I don't think it's a problem, but I think there's at least some underlying level of sexuality that's involved with putting a bikini as your profile picture on a messaging app.
I hate to defend women on this, but isn't that a little controlling, Chud, that you would just tell your partner what they can and cannot use as their profile picture?
Um, well, it's not about control necessarily. It's not saying like you must or must not do this. It would just be more of a discomfort thing. You know, I would have concerns of some sort of underlying sexual intent that I mean,
So,
okay. I may be willing to grant some ground here. It depends on the context of the picture. If it's like at some pool party or something like that, and it's a group photo, you know, that might be more acceptable. But if it's like a photo of a woman with her tits out in a bikini looking very sexual, I think that I would have a problem with that. Yeah.
so you are going full Jonah Hill.
Yes,
If it
I think Jonah Hill was treated badly. Yes.
Okay. All right, there you have it, guys. If you want to be Chud's partner, no bikini pictures in your your profile pic unless you're at a pool party.
Well, not specifically a pool party, but you know, I looked at some of the pictures of Jonah Hill's misses, and people were going, "Oh, they're just surfing pictures." Some of them were like extremely revealing pictures that looked like a fucking thirst trap, and people were trying to act like it was all just surfing bikini pics. So I guess if I wanted to be more specific, it would be a thirst trap. I would have a problem with because
Now you're towing the line. What's a thirst trap? What's not a thirst trap?
sure, I mean it's it's contextual, isn't it? Right, and this is something you'd have to talk about with your partner. Um, but obviously, there are concessions you make in a relationship to satisfy the other person, and it depends what is and isn't reasonable between the two of you. Do you actually
Well,
disagree with me on this, by the way, or you just wanted me out?
I'm not in a relationship and I don't plan on being one. So if women want to put fucking bikinis in their avatar, by all means, have at that shit. I need to see what I'm getting myself into anyway. I'm
But
not.
wait, hang on. If you had a wife, I know you're not planning to have one, but if you had a wife, would you be comfortable with her putting a bikini pic as a WhatsApp picture?
Hell no, because women are a representation of me. You know,
Okay. Well, you agree with me then? What?
I was devil's advocate for a second.
Okay, fair enough. Right, that's fair enough. I get
Someone
you.
has to defend women over here, Chud. If you're going to
No,
be
that's
all
fine.
controlling
We can't agree
shit.
all the time. You're right. I agree.
But any more questions you got from your audience? Sniper Wolf stuff is coming up. No Pixel. Hopefully, the judge will make a decision on whether it's going to get tossed out next week or not. That's all I got on the court case. Then I'll just be going back to expose and go digging women.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's great to hear. I appreciate you coming on as always.
Why should not date? When will he put up his new emotes? Zesty
Oh,
fungi.
I need to put the new emotes up. The dating thing. I mean, I just tend not to get into I have really moved away from any specific discussion about my personal life. I just think it invites scrutiny and people prying, and it's like what I present
Oh.
on stream is up for discussion. Anything else, that's not really what I want to talk about.
Do you think what happened to Logan's girlfriend was fair? It's like chicks need to be Amish and men could be proudly claimed to be, you can proudly dick down women daily. Do you think what's happening to Nina Agdal is fair?
Um, no, I think at first it was funny. A few pictures poking a bit of fun is totally fine. Okay, I get that, and that's part of the fighting talk. But Dylan Dennis has engaged with in behavior that denotes a level of obsession with this endless posting of her. In some cases, posting what are possibly private Snapchat videos. It's claimed they're private Snapchat videos. And his complaining about it is, to me, fuck around and find out. You have gone on this unhinged campaign of endlessly posting this fucking fella's wife on your social media account, and now you're getting court filed documents against you. Yeah, welcome to fuck around and find out. I don't know. I think it's insane that people are acting like he's got no fault in this whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm actually covering that lawsuit. She hired 5 attorneys.
Jesus.
And she's putting a full court press on him. Another question from my chat. Are you going to watch the adapter VOD after this, the full one?
I'll save it for Kick, only because she's banned and it's a long VOD, and we can really lay out the misogyny. But I will watch the full VOD. I'll get round to it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any spam your questions, guys. This is the
Sorry,
first time we actually had some. Go ahead.
just a quick one on the what do you think of the Nina Agdal situation, then? What's your
Oh, it's
thoughts?
egregious. He it's like, imagine if I posted a depth every goddamn day and not
Right.
like disparaging photos of her that I didn't obtain that people send me because that's going to be his argument. People sent them this shit and he just posted it, or he's going to put it on the comedian that runs his Twitter. I never would just sit here every day and just post a depth. Look at a depth. She did this. Look at a depth. She was with this guy. She was with that guy. Like, here's a depth topless. All this shit. It's definitely harassment in my eyes. As far as the revenge porn that she's hitting him with, I don't know. She said those pictures were hacked and stolen. Now, did he hack it? Hell no. Did he probably did a hacker who did send him the pictures? Probably. Logan Paul has a lot of enemies who hate that guy. So I can easily see someone hacking it and shit. It's obsessive and cringeworthy. Um, but it's great promotion for the fight. I'm thinking about buying the fight now.
Yeah, me too. I want to watch the fight as well.
Like
And
I might watch it live, like do the whole hey, watch the fight with me and shit. And I'll react to it. Hopefully, every other people watch it because that's the main event. No one cares about KSI and Tommy Fury. No one cares about that.
there's another angle to this because apparently there was one photo that Dylan shared, and the fight promoter, I believe, told him to take it down or the fight couldn't take
Yeah.
place. What was
Yes.
that?
That was just her topless.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was just her
And she,
topless. Even though
and
she has other topless pictures out there, I guess that one was not public. And I showed it on stream what it was. I showed on stream, here's the topless photo, and here's the video that started the whole lawsuit where she was like, I just need a big juicy dick to come ravage me. Shit like that. She was like, that was a private message. And I'm like, it didn't seem private. but whatever. Like, who records a message like that and does not post it?
I think some of this is just down to the fact that Twitter and other kind of social media apps like unlock the worst kind of behavior and will find ways to justify the most unhinged, insane actions because it's funny or something like that. And to me, though, it wasn't even funny. Like, it got to the point where I had to like mute the guy. I was like, fuck me, I get it. She's like, a whore. Fine, I get the point. Can we just stop now? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I mean, people think he's going to pull out of the fight or whatever. I don't think he can. I don't think he will. If he pulls out of the fight, it's going to be weak. If Logan Paul, he had like an arm wrist, a brace. If he pulls out the fight, it's weak too. So the fight has to happen because God forbid I pay for this fight and I realize that they're not on the card. I want a refund, 100% refund.
Also with that as well, I believe Dylan was trying to dodge getting served papers. Is that right? I don't think you can do that forever, can you? Eventually, you have to accept it.
Yeah. So since I have his court docs or whatever, he did dodge getting served several times, and he posted about it, and that was ultimately used to serve him. And they eventually caught his ass. They caught him leaving the gym, which is kind of like attached to his apartment, and Nina Agdal doxed him 1,000% in the court docs.
Damn.
1,000% just doxed him. I mean, I blocked it out on my channel, but other people got the court docs. You know everything about where he lives, where he works out. I'm like, God damn, that's a full service docs. I mean, Adept did the same thing to XQC when she filed. So it's just kind of par for the course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I find it difficult to have sympathy because it's like, well, you shouldn't have posted a million pictures of this woman on your fucking timeline.
Yeah,
But
he fucked up.
obviously, I don't accept that. You shouldn't be attacked or something like that. But yeah, he's
I mean, he should have known better. It was great promotion at first, but then he just started going over the line. And it's just like his whole Twitter is just naked pictures of Nina Agdal. Even now, you go up there now, it's still another naked picture of her. As if he don't care. Maybe it's just good publicity, but her 5 lawyers think otherwise.
well. It's good to know that you diverge from the red pill community on some issues. I think Andrew Tate has been not only kind of
Fuck.
cheering it on, but criticizing Logan Paul for filing court documents.
Yeah, man. I'm red pill till I die. Um, I'm not diverging from the red pill. I don't care what Andrew Tate says. Every man is probably blue pilled until they have a red pill moment, like XQC did. And people are saying red pill is dying just because it's not getting the traction, not getting the views as much as it used to. But someone's gonna learn. They're in a marriage. If they get divorced with no prenup and she goes for broke on them, they'll be very red pilled. I don't want to say their name, but you may know who this person is as they are on their anti red pill arc.
Okay, well,
Oh.
there we go. I guess we'll wrap it up. It's been 2 hours. Good conversation. I had fun.
I always have fun. Do you? Someone said, "Do I zesty fungi?" Yo, he just be like spamming questions.
Zesty
You
Fungi
know?
has gone ballistic. He loves it.
Do you have a feel for when XQC adapt legal case will finally be over? XQ mentioned I have no idea what's going on with XQC's legal stuff. But thank you for having me, man. It's always a great time. And you like the only person who will have me on stream. Everyone else is like, no, Henry, ever.
Really?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I
Always,
mean,
mate. Yeah, we should. I'm terrible at committing to a specific thing on a regular basis, but we should definitely catch up when there's enough to talk about. I enjoy it.
yeah, are you going to TwitterCon or TwitchCon or whatever?
No, I'm not. I'm going to be in America for this DebateCon thing, but that's more of a politics
Oh,
based
where
thing.
is it at?
It's in Texas.
Oh,
In
oh, shit. Go see OTK. Go see Manscaped for them.
I don't know if I'm more, much like yourself. I was in that. Well, I was in a document where they listed out the most hated LSF posters based on science or something, and I was like in the list. So I don't know if they particularly like me.
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, all right, man. Well, good luck in Texas, man. Hopefully you make it out unscathed
Thank
and
you.
not blackballed by OTK and them. But thanks for having me.
Pleasure, mate.
Sl-
Catch up soon.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Bye bye. Man, I love talking to Henry.